Hello and welcome. My name is Brooke and I live with my husband and our 5 children on a remote farm in central Canada. My channel here is dedicated to cash stuffing, cash budgeting, saving money, getting out of debt, etc. Okay, today I am stuffing our second pay of 2026. I did a budget with me last week for this week's pay. And I want to say, if you were paying any attention to that video, you will notice that I am stuffing a little bit less in some of my sinking funds this week than I actually planned for last week. And that is because I had an expense come up that I wasn't anticipating. And so it's all good. All the envelopes that I intended to stuff are still being stuffed. Some are just a little bit less. And before I start my stuffing, I need to unstuff. I need to, what I like to do is when I get $100 in one of my long-term sinking funds, I prefer to move it into my high interest savings account so that it can earn interest for me, as opposed to just sitting here in an envelope, not earning interest. So my hay equipment envelope has 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, and that is going to go into the high interest savings account, and I'm going to put a 100 placeholder in here to show what I have in the bank. Before we start stuffing, I'm going to take my leftover from my weekly spending and I'm going to put it into my savings challenges. So what I do, I don't typically play savings challenge games, although I do love to see other people's videos with their savings challenges. But for me, my extra money is so limited, I know exactly where I want to put it. So it doesn't really make sense for me to play games and move it here and there and everywhere and then put it all back together. However, what I am challenging myself to do this year, as I did last year, is when there's a little bit left over in the grocery envelope, instead of thinking, yeah, I've got this extra $10 this week, I can buy myself, some beef jerky or a snack or whatever, I am challenging myself to just leave it alone, untouched, and put it in my savings challenges. So that's what I'm doing. Groceries, I don't know. This week I managed to stay well under budget, and I'm very grateful for that. Typically, I would just keep the extra for my grocery buffer, but I'm really pushing myself not to spend it at all this year. So we have 35 left in the grocery envelope. We have 10 left in the pet food envelope and 10 left in the feed store envelope. So now I am going to add these into my savings challenges, which I believe are in this binder. Yeah. So the first one is the $5 savings. Add a 5 here. So now I got 15 in here. I did have, I think, almost $200 in here for 2025, and then at the end of the year, I emptied it. Even though I hadn't completed the savings challenge, I emptied it and put it in my retirement fund. So that's 15 for 2026 so far. And I do hope to get quite a bit farther in this challenge this year than I did last year. In each of them, actually. Okay. $10. I have 3 this week, which is amazing. I almost never have that much all at once to go in here. And I tell you, it was so hard all week to know that that was in my wallet and to just compel myself not to spend it, not to get a bit of chocolate or anything like that. And I really actually enjoy exercising that willpower. So now we have 10, 20, 30, 40, $50 in the $10 savings challenge. And if you like these challenges, if you think they are pretty as I do, you can get them for free on my Ko-fi. And one for the $20 challenge. I think that's the wrong marker. Whoop. So this year I've already got as much in here as I managed for all of 2025. So 20, 40, and 60. I very rarely have 20s left over. And so I'm glad that I've already matched what I managed in 2025 for the whole year. Okay, there we go. All right, so the bills have been paid online, and this is what we've got left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 50, 900, 20, 40, 60, 80, 1,000, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 1,225. And like I said, it's a little bit less than I anticipated having available last week when I did my budget, but that is okay. Budgets can and should be flexible. Okay, so my beloved cat, crazy beloved cat, always wants to get in the way. Emergency fund this week is getting $20. And I forgot my pen, so I'm going to have to fill that in afterwards, but we have 600 in the bank. 20, 40, and 60. And actually, that's not quite right because I did have to spend some of the emergency fund on a vehicle repair. So I have to kind of change these placeholders, but I will have to do that afterwards. So a little bit less than that. I think it's 500-ish, not 660. Okay, and my cat is off screen in my way. It occurs to me that I did not stuff my wallet envelopes, so we're going to take a break from this binder for just a moment. My cat is distracting me. Okay, let's see. Groceries is going to get 400. I budgeted 800 because we have next week's groceries as well, but I'm going to put that in my grocery buffer envelope so that I'm not carrying around $800 in my wallet. 1, 2, 3, and 4 for groceries. The gas budget, I have been I go across to the United States for my gas because we do live fairly close to the border, and it is much, much cheaper than buying gas in Canada. And I was getting US cash all of last year to do my gas. However, this year what I've been doing is I've been putting the money on my Coho card and just using my Coho card to pay because the exchange rate is better than if I get cash. So I'm not putting money in my gas envelope at the time being, but I will use my Coho card for that. It functions basically like a prepaid MasterCard. It's been fantastic. There's details down in my description if you're interested. Okay, dog food is getting 90, 50, 70, and 90. Oh, that 20 isn't very happy. And the feed store is getting 40. So these go in my wallet for the week, and that is what we have available. Okay, we're going to go back into the binders now. Excuse my chaotic, discombobulated stuffing this morning. Okay, so we did the emergency fund. That got 20. Now, next week's groceries are going to go in the grocery buffer envelope. 1, 2, 3, and 400. It has been bitterly cold this week, and it's early morning as I'm recording, and the sun is coming up, and everything is very sparkly and just otherworldly. It's really, really beautiful outside right now. Okay. This week, I am stuffing the kids' spending envelopes. I'm going to kind of start preparing for summertime and all the things that are going to be going on at that time. So my oldest, baby number 1, is going to get $5 in his envelope. Number 2 will also get 5. Number 3 gets 5. Baby number 4 gets 5. And baby number 5 gets 5 for a total of $25 between the 5 of them. Okay. I forgot that I had moved this envelope into my family binder. It's caught me by surprise because it used to be with holidays, the birthdays envelope, and so now my list is a little bit out of order. So let me see if I'm putting anything in birthdays. Yes, $20 into birthdays. And then we have lessons and sports, which is getting $20. I originally wanted to put 40 in here when I did my budget last week because we did spend from this envelope for my daughter's calligraphy class. But like I said, I had something else I needed to pay for this week. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 85 in the lessons envelope. So sometimes things don't go as planned, but as long as we keep putting something away, then we're good. Clothing is getting 20. So we got 40 in there now, 20 and 40. And my older kids are getting close to being done growing. They've really slowed down, but my youngest is still growing like a weed. So I'm sure I'll need to get some new clothes for him very soon. Nothing for shoes this week. Instrument maintenance, I was originally planning to put 20 in there, but I am going to put 10 this week. So we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 110. And I think I'm gonna plan to start buying new strings for my kids' instruments in March. So I have a little bit of time to pad that out a bit more. My son's cello fund is also getting 10 this week. That was another one that I had originally intended to put 20 in, but it didn't work out that way this week. So we got 50, 70, 90, 110, 130, 140, 145. 145 towards my son's next size of cello. Then we are going to move out of this binder and into the vehicles and farm binder. So vehicle maintenance, that was another one I wanted to put 20 in, but instead I'm putting 10. So now we have 20, 40, 60, 80, 95. $95 towards vehicle maintenance. Let's see now. Tires is going to get 10. So 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85 towards the next set of tires. And I have a little bit of time before I have to worry about that because we did just change the tires on the van in, September or October. I can't remember exactly now. Tractor maintenance, this is also getting 10. So now we have 20, 40, and 50. Okay. Now we're going to move to hay equipment, which is going to get 20. So in the bank we have 100, 200, 300, 320, 330. Okay. We're not putting anything towards the barn or fencing. We are going to put $20 in property taxes. And we now have 20, 40, 60, 80, 100. And I think our first property tax payment for the year is $138. So I should be able to pay that after the next couple of stuffings. Land is not getting any more today. And then we're going to put $20 in the veterinarian envelope. That's for livestock vet for the horses and cattle. We have 20, 40, 60, and 80 in there. So we last had the vet out to the farm in October, I believe. So knock on wood, we won't need him anytime soon. And that's it for that binder. And now we're going to get into holidays and other things. So this is where I used to have the birthdays envelope, which is now in the family binder. So I did unstuff $100 from Valentine's Day. Today I'm putting 50 in there. It's still not, I did pay for one thing for Valentine's Day for my hubby, but Valentine's Day has not arrived yet, and I still have a few things planned. So we've got 50 added today for a total of $60. And then Easter is going to get 20. And I'm going to flip back here. And we're going to put $10 in the retirement envelope. So now we have 20, 30, 35. So at the end of the year, I'm going to, whatever we've got in here, or maybe every $100 or so, I'll unstuff it. But this is going to go into my RRSP, which is a registered retirement savings plan. And that's kind of put away so that I cannot touch it. And then that will sit there until we reach retirement age, at which point we can draw from the funds. Okay, that is everything for today. Like I said, a little bit different than what I planned for last week, but that's okay. We have a busy, busy week ahead of us, and it's bitterly cold, so it's going to be interesting. Hope you all have a great week. We'll see you next time. Bye.